In my culture, growing up as a Muslim, mental illness doesn't exist. It's the devil's work. They always used religion as a tactic to convince you that there's nothing wrong with you. It's just the devil, or the shaitan in Arabic, is the one who's making you depressed because you're not closer to God, or this is happening to you because you didn't do this or that, so God is punishing you. Around the age of 11, I was sexually assaulted by my sister, my oldest sister. And it started off with her making sexual remarks and sexual jokes and picking on me all the time and bullying me. And sometimes she would get so physical that I would be left with bruises on my body because of it. It makes me disgusted and cringe and just makes me full of anger towards her. I would beg her, just leave me alone. And she never did. When you grow up believing that you are nothing without family, you tend to believe that, and you accept any sort of damage that can happen to you, abuse that can happen to you, just because you don't want to feel guilty about it and you don't want to also disappoint them. When I moved out and I was on my own 100%, I had the freedom I envisioned. Just talking about things that usually nobody in my culture talks about made it easier. I always thought of freedom the way my dad described it to me or to my sisters, and it's wanting to be whores or sluts. That's what he affiliated our freedom with. And he doesn't understand that my freedom is to be who I am. I just want to live a happy life away from any type of toxicity. Now, I do not allow anybody to disrespect me in any way, shape, or form. And it is okay to do that, even if it's with your parents, even if it's with any family member. I didn't want that anymore. I didn't want that type of energy around me, even if we have some sort of trauma bond with them. I can feel the battle within me. My heart is telling me it's okay, you can forgive them. Oh my God, I'm about to cry. And my mind is telling me that my trauma is valid and what I went through is valid, and I should acknowledge that and accept it. When I went through the sexual assault with my older sister, that was a contributing factor to why I had a very difficult time with intimacy with my past partners. I usually would break up with people before they would break up with me. My therapist told me, she said, if you don't deal with your own trauma, that you're gonna pass it on to somebody else. And I never understood it until I met Stephanie. I would struggle with my depression so much that I would take hours to respond to Stephanie. And I didn't know how to address it to her. To tell her like, hey, I struggle with depression. I am having a really bad anxiety day. I told myself, why can't you just pick up the phone and just tell her that? I don't want kids with you, I told her. And I told her I don't want to get married. I don't have to sign a sheet of paper to prove I love you. And I was so cold when I said those things to her. If we had one misunderstanding, I would just walk away. And I would tell myself, like, this is not normal, like, to do. You're in a relationship, first of all, and with someone that wants to be with you. Someone that actually wants to heal with you. I was trying to push her away. Because I didn't believe I was deserving of her love. And I didn't think I was worthy of having someone like her in my life and supporting me. And she was always there, you know? Her family became my family, and it just makes me happy to talk about her and her family because they gave me the love and the support and the affection that I didn't receive from my own family. It like broke me because it almost broke us. I put her through a lot, and she did tell me, if you do not face those feelings, we will not work. She is my soulmate. Like, she is the one I want to be with, and she's the one I want to marry. She's the one I want to build a family with. I want to build a home with. It's just her. I was trying to like think of somebody else, and I'm like, I can't. Like, she's on my mind 24/7. So I was like, get your shit together. That's when I realized the work that I need to do. It's part of healing. When you accept some of the things that you do to other people, it was still very hard to communicate because I'm not used to anybody telling me, hey, talk about your feelings. And I'm used to always being strong and being strong for everybody else, because if I was perceived as weak, that's not a good thing. And I didn't want to be seen as that. That's how we are in my family. We barely talk about our feelings.
Let's talk it out and fly away. Now you got
I had trouble having my partner touching me. I just wanted to be the giver, and I didn't want to receive anything. It made me feel like I was being taken advantage of. I felt like it was sexual assault. But it wasn't, of course, because it's consensual. But I was triggered by it so much, and it impacted me so much. Women are beautiful, and you're with a woman. Why won't you just let it happen? And I would try, but in the middle of it, I'm like, I can't do it no more. It's as if I would relive it again, or I would be thinking of my sister.
The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout.
I would look up and check the rooms to see if my sister's around. Like, I was so paranoid. And then when it came to Stephanie, in the beginning, I never allowed her to touch me or anything. I wouldn't even take my bra off or my boxers off or nothing. I just wanted to please and be the giver, and I don't want nothing else in return. So I was a big touch me not in a way. When I explained it to Stephanie, she understood. And she helped me through it slowly, because I did have a difficult time with it. We would be in the middle of it, and I'm just like, can you just give me a moment? Like, I can't do it anymore. But it got easier with her. I don't know, there's something about her that made it easier. And she also taught me that it's okay to be touched, to be loved, to be a receiver sometimes. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. That doesn't make you weak. That doesn't make you less of a woman. You don't have to be dominant all the time. You don't have to be strong all the time. It's okay. And there's so much beauty in that. Just being with a woman, it's beautiful. It's the touch, the kiss, the memories you make with each other. The way they talk is just different from being with a guy. And experiencing that for the first time with Stephanie made me love being intimate and vulnerable with her, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful, and I told myself I'm not gonna allow someone that's demented and mentally ill and someone who actually traumatized me and made me think that I don't deserve to be loved sexually and physically get the best of me. And I just talking about what my sister did to me and explaining where I was coming from to Stephanie, it made the baggage as if it was never there. And I'm happier now.